Hey y'all, welcome back to another exciting episode of Life on the Ave. Keeping with our theme, we are sticking with Del-lebrities. So movers and shakers here in the state of Delaware, faces in the crowd that definitely stand out. And we're super excited to welcome on our guest today, Miss Kaylee Lynch.
Hi, how are you? I'm excited to be here.
Doing well. So Kaylee does a lot of super awesome things in the area that we're going to get into. So I guess we'll start with you. So Miss Kaylee Lynch, you currently work at Christiana Care. You're a NICU therapist, and you also do a little infant toddler entrepreneurship. Got a business partner getting that off the ground. Yep. So super excited about that. So number one, if you want to tell the people who you are, where you're from, how did you end up in Delaware?
Yeah. So my name is Kaylee. I grew up in Westchester, so not far from here.
Sweet.
I kind of bounced around a little bit, lived in Philly for a while. Then I lived in St. Pete, Florida, which was fantastic. Just after time being down there, my family lives up here. So came back, got a job at Christiana Care.
Sweet.
Back down at their Newark campus in their NICU now. So that's kind of how I ended up in Wilmington. I picked Wilmington though, like when I was moving back, because it was still gave you the city vibe, but much smaller than Philadelphia, close to work, close to where I grew up, but also a little bit of space to explore something new. So that's how I ended up here. And I've been here for about 2 years, and I'm finally like settled in, and it feels great, and it feels like home, and I really enjoy it.
That is awesome. So, you definitely, we were just talking right before we started, the NICU, that is most definitely God's work. My 2 cents, my experience with the NICU, I have a nephew. It's my godson. It's actually his birthday today. So shout out Charlie James. Happy birthday.
All right, happy birthday.
Turning 8.
Ooh,
yeah. Super
excited.
Super exciting.
But
yeah, so Charlie was, he was a NICU baby. He was born, he had a hernia in his diaphragm, so like his stomach organs were up in his chest. So he was born, he came out, wasn't breathing that well. They rushed him down to Nemours, did surgery, and like walking in there, I was just like, this is world class. Like, this is unbelievable. Like, what these people do, literal angels sent from God. Like, how did you get into that? Like, did you grow up like, hey, this is what I want to do?
No, so actually I like totally fell into it, which is incredible because it's kind of a really hard niche thing to get into. And I was just really lucky, like a total godsend. It was my first job out of college. So I worked at Christiana and before I moved to Florida and then came back to Christiana. So my first job out of college involved a little bit of the NICU, and Sweet. I really didn't know what to expect. I wasn't necessarily initially interested in it, but it is now like one of my biggest passions, and I love that environment. I love working with the infants, working with parents, and it's now like my total bread and butter. That's awesome.
So like, Did you want to be a nurse? Did you want to be a doctor growing up? Like,
I knew I wanted to do something that involved like some like working with other people or like a helping profession, but I didn't want to be a teacher, didn't want to be a nurse. For sure wasn't signing up to be a doctor.
Didn't want to go into real estate.
I wasn't looking to go into real estate. So I kind of found OT in that like it's a hybrid of all the things. So I can work in the school if I want to, but it was medical, but not so medical that I was a nurse or a doctor. Yeah. And it's pretty versatile. Like you can kind of mold it into whatever you want it to be. So
that's awesome.
It was a good launching point to then like kind of figure out what I want to do.
That's
and I'm
awesome.
Still figuring out what I want to do, but I do love the
Same.
NICU. Yeah.
Same. Still figuring it out.
It's constantly evolving, but the NICU is a huge passion of mine for sure.
I was talking with Jade this morning, and she was like, I was sitting at dinner with all my friends, and I was just like, holy crap, guys, like we're adults. Like I sell houses, you're a therapist, you do X, Y, Z. I was just like, I can't believe like I have 2 kids. I think I'm like a teen dad. Then I'm like, oh, Vince, you're 31, by the way.
I know.
Yeah, like we're all adults, and like I used to think adults had it figured out. No way. No one's got it figured out.
Not a chance. Definitely don't have it figured out.
Yeah. But. So like, did you like when you were in high school, were you like, hey, this is kind of what I wanted to go towards? Or like, when did you like figure this out?
I figured it out in high school. I mean, in hindsight, I probably should have waited to like not just pick something and wed myself to it for the rest of my life. I can't say I would have do it again, but I did pick it in high school because it's a 5-year program. So I was able to like cut years of school out by committing to it in high school.
Yep. Yeah. And what we were just talking about, Scranton. Scranton's known as like a medical school. Correct me if I'm wrong.
Yeah, there's a lot of like medical stuff up there.
Yep.
So.
Yeah. So you did the 5-year program at there. So what'd you graduate with? Like a bachelor's and then?
So I graduated with a bachelor's and then I did an extra year for my master's.
Okay.
So it alleviated having to like apply to grad school and going for another graduate degree.
That's awesome. That's awesome. And then one thing that we love talking about, so Pat always yells at me when we do the podcast and we talk like real estate terms. If I say like CMA or like something like that, he's like, dude, what does that even mean? So on your LinkedIn, you got a bunch of letters here. So Kaylee Lynch, NTMC, comma, MS, comma, OTR/L. So what do these letters mean?
What do the letters mean? So NTMC is that I'm a certified neonatal touch and massage therapist. So I focus in the NICU on doing infant massage with babies and then parents. So that's the NTMC. That's like a specialty that I worked for.
So like, who needs a massage? Like a kid has like a bum arm or something like that? You work it out? Like
no,
what do you mean?
For neonates, their sensory systems are still developing. So touch is a great way to promote brain development and also soothe the nervous system, and it promotes sleep and weight gain and feeding development. So it's something that we teach the parents because it's a great parent-infant bonding. And like you mentioned, the NICU is a really terrifying environment for parents, or can be. So it's a great way to break down all the barriers and just get them to connect with their infant like they would if they were at home in the living room.
That's awesome. That's awesome. Yeah. So that's the NTMC.
That's NTMC. The other letters are just like MS's. I got my master's.
Shout out.
Yep.
5-year program. Yeah.
OTR means I'm a registered occupational therapist and I hold a license.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Awesome. So you're at Christiana Care. What's that schedule like? Is it like a nurse schedule or is it like a 9 to 5?
It's a 9 to 5.
Gotcha. Cool. So 9 to 5. You want to give a plug for Christiana Care? You like your employer?
Christiana Care. It's great place.
Shout out. Shout out. And then also, so you recently launched a infant toddler, new business right there. So what do we got going on there? I've gotten the emails. I definitely want to come. So
come check us out. So that's called Golden Therapy Services. And my business partner and I are just recently getting that off the ground. But the goal and vision there is to empower families for infant and toddler development by providing them the education so that they can then be the best resource for their child.
Awesome.
And we're really focusing on the Wilmington area. There's a lot of these resources down in Middletown, but it's kind of a desert up here when it comes to that.
Okay.
So we've connected with Wilmington Brew Works. We're actually connecting with a yoga studio.
Sweet.
So we're able to host different play groups for different ages and focus on different skill sets. And then we also are providing consulting services for parent coaching. So it's kind of something for everybody. We have somebody who you come pay a few dollars, do an infant play group. We can do some like virtual Zoom sessions, or then we can come out to your house and provide some parent coaching and consulting that way.
That is super cool. So when are you guys doing that? Like mostly weekends right now, nights sort of deal? How's that
Weekends.
working?
We're looking at weekends at least once a month. We'll be doing the infant toddler play group. So definitely keep an eye out for that. And then the consult visits would be like as scheduled. We would come out to your house, like based off of your availability and our availability.
Awesome. And so like on your emails, I think you guys are trying to keep it like small groups. So what, like 6 to 10 kids? Like what's it look like? When you guys do this?
When we've done it, we had 6. We limited it to 6 infants so that we can provide the individualized support parents are looking for. So we had 6 infants and 12 parents. So both partners came for all infants. We were set up at Wilmington Brew Works. So we had a play mat. Everybody sat in a circle. We do some casual introductions. We sing some songs. And then we really open it up to parents to ask questions. And then we're able to go around from baby to baby, family to family, and tailor the information to them specifically. So each baby had about 5 to 7 minutes to kind of troubleshoot whatever they're working on at home. But also more
And
importantly,
like, what kind of issues are they working on? Like,
so it's not even issues. It's just
Yeah.
like where to go next. So,
Yeah.
you know, some babies might not like tummy time. Other babies might love it. But also if your baby does love tummy time, like, okay, we're here. Now where do we go? So like different ways to just promote developing the next skill.
yeah.
So
Can you teach my kid to crawl?
sure can.
Okay, sweet. Yeah. Sorry, Winslow,
Yeah,
you're gonna be crawling,
come,
buddy.
Come on out anytime. Yeah, so just really like where to turn next, tips and tricks, but also the biggest piece that we're looking for is for parents to connect with parents. So
Awesome.
with Wilmington Brew Works, everybody got a drink discount. After the group, then all the parents got a beer. You could get beer to go if you didn't like want to hang out, but they all grabbed a beer and hung out for like an hour getting to meet new parents. So it's really, I know you have 2 little ones, I'm sure, like being a new parent can be overwhelming. So
Correct.
it's really our vision is to break down the barriers and allow parents to get to know one another so it doesn't feel so isolating.
That's awesome. Yeah. Because like doing it up, like, oh, there's my wife right there. Yeah. 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 My wife says it all the time. Like, it's just completely different. Like, talking to people without kids. So like they're like, well, what do you mean? Like, you're tired? It's like, dude, you don't know tired until you've had a couple of kids. And just like relating with those other parents, like Mary Kate's in a nice little mom friend group, which is great. I have a handful of, you know, good friends with kids now. And it's just like, our relationship has just grown so much more because, you know, we're raising children in 2024, which is completely different than when you and I were brought up, completely different than when our parents were brought up. And like, you know, there's just challenges. So it is nice having that support group to, you know, get in there. And then, you know, it's also nice having a beer with someone as well, too.
Yeah. So definitely keep an eye out for that. It's called Golden Therapy Services.
Golden Therapy Services. We're putting it on the map right here in Wilmington. Yeah, we're getting the word out there. That is awesome. That is awesome. So anything else you want to talk about, like NICU-wise, Christiana Care-wise, infant toddler-wise?
No, I mean, I really think we covered it all.
Cool. Yeah, so we're getting into a couple topics of the day here. So number one, I'll let you kind of tell the story, and then maybe I'll add to it. So how you have planted your flag here in Wilmington is Tap House Beer Runners. So take it from there. How did Tap House Beer Runners come to be?
So Tap House Beer Runners was really, so like I said, I moved here from Florida. I lived in Philly, lived in Florida, and anytime I moved to a new place, I would find a run club that, you know, was super casual, all paces welcome, typically started and ended at a brewery. And it was always my launching point in terms of like building a community. I would always find a friend. I moved here, looked for that, couldn't find it anywhere. So I was talking to a friend and she was like, start it. And I threw a post out there on like the Buy Nothing group, like would people be interested in this? Got some good feedback, like I would show up. And then really it just like took off. Like Nathan Field caught wind of it and then he connected me with you guys, and from there I was expecting maybe 5 people to show up on the first week, and we had like a solid 15, which then I was like, oh my God, we got 15 people to come out. Like that felt incredible. That was in September of 2022.
Yeah.
And since then we've been meeting every Tuesday, and it has only gotten bigger. So like all through the winter, like when I expected it to be like, you know, 5 people show up, we had 40 people each week coming out. And like now that it's nice out, we're like kicking 70. So
love that.
Yeah, it really has just grown. We continue to get new faces, new people. And I'm excited just to see where it goes. But
yes,
that is how it got started. And honestly, it is bigger than I could have ever dreamed.
That's awesome. Yeah. I remember, so I saw a TikTok because I was like looking to do like something similar wise, and I saw a TikTok like hot girl walks are now a thing. So like COVID kind of brought that about. Like we, you know, would just go on walks because there was nothing else to do. So I saw a TikTok of like a hot girl walk. I think it was in Florida, maybe. Who knows where it was? And it was just like this girl just walking, and there was like hundreds of girls behind her. And I was like, this is great. Like, this is awesome sort of deal. Literally, like, as I saw that TikTok, and I was like, guys, we should do this, Nathan Field connected us via email.
Yeah.
And I was just like, oh my God, like it fell right into my lap. So my wife loves me because I just pretty much say yes to everything. So I'm like, yes, like Kaylee, like come in, like let's meet, like let's do this up.
It was great.
Yeah. And I remember you guys walking up, you and shout out our girl Slim Shady.
Yes.
Miss you, fam. Yeah.
She moved to Philly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I still follow her.
I know. Yeah.
I hit her up. Yeah, she's my girl.
She's awesome.
And I remember you guys coming up, and I'm like, all right, cool. Like, you got the idea. Like, let's run with it. You guys be the face of it. We'll help promote it here a little bit. And you're like, you think we can do this? I'm like, we can totally do this. By the way, we're shooting a video right here, right now. And you're like, no, we're not. I was. Hey, I'm Vince Carmen. Nice to meet you. We're going to shoot a video right now. You're like, I'm not even ready for it or anything like that.
Yep, no, I had no idea what to expect. But you guys, the video, you guys killed it. And you guys have been like our biggest supporters. And you definitely are.
Love it.
A huge reason as to why it's grown to where it is.
Correct. Yeah. And like, I just remember just like it's so funny, like looking back at it, just being like, you know, hey, Tap House, we're here. Like, can you guys hook us up with something? And they were like, what? Like, what do you mean? Like, and you're like, well, I thought the guy Joe, like, didn't he tell you guys? And she's like, I'm just a waiter. Like, what do you mean?
Right.
Yeah. We're like, well, just a pretzel and nachos, something like that. And then now it's like super legit.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And it's crazy. Like 18 months has gone by.
I know. It's
so fast.
So crazy and so fast. Yes. Tap House is fantastic. I don't think when they agreed to host us, they also envisioned 70 people coming in every Tuesday.
Now they love it.
Oh, yeah. Absolutely. And we love Larry. He's like our best bartender. He's
awesome.
Consistent every week.
Shout out Larry. Nominee for Best Bartender Trolley. Almost won.
Yeah.
Almost won.
Well, he wins in our hearts. But yeah, no, it is really awesome. Tap House donates free appetizers each week. People hang out, they get a drink. People bring their kids, they bring their dogs, especially when the weather's nice. Super.
All ages,
super
all
chill.
paces?
All ages, all paces. We have people who walk, people who run faster than I could ever dream. And we have some people who just, honestly, if they're injured or just want to come out for like some socializing, they might even just not walk at all.
I'll see you guys in a half hour. I'll be right here.
They wait and then they come back and, you know, just hang out. So
that is awesome.
It is awesome. Yeah.
My biggest thing that I love about Tap House Beer Runners is basically no cancellations. Rain, sun, sleet, hail, snow. Yeah. No cancellations.
No cancellations. The craziest conditions we've ever run in, which honestly we should have canceled, was over the winter. We had like that crazy windstorm. It was like raining and winding, like I don't even know, the wind gusts like I've never seen before. And we went out, and honestly I was just convinced that a tree was coming down on one of us. Like when we got back to Tap House, like I was like, I've never been so stressed. So yeah, they've been some wild times.
Yes. Yeah. So the dedication is just like unbelievable, and like the consistency. Like I think for some people, I'm sure it's like the highlight of their week. Like they look forward to it. Yeah.
I mean, I know I look forward to it. It's a great way to get out, see people that, I mean, I feel like life gets busy, so it's hard to like catch up with people all the time. But you can always count on Tuesday to like see familiar faces. And also it's just, the consistency is great because you know it's always going to be there. So even if you don't come for 6 months, we're happy to see you 6 months later. Like it's every Tuesday. And I think that's also part of the success too, is that like it is consistent. So you don't have to look to see when the next one's going to be. You just know it's always going to be there.
Correct. Yeah. I love that. So like now it's basically like a little machine. It's set up and kind of like runs itself. So like any kind of special people you want to shout out?
Oh man. I mean, there's so many people that I want to shout out, but I feel like, there's like a core group of 10 people. Like, I mean, Tom, Jake, David, Katie, Abby, Lasha. I mean, so many people, but like they definitely keep it going. I wasn't there yesterday, and they were on it. They switched it to the spring route. Like they had handled it hands down, like sent me all the photos. So all I had to do was post it this morning. Like,
that's awesome.
It is a little machine, and I am so grateful for like the OG group that now just like helps carry it along.
Yep. Yeah. And that's a perfect little segue, because like we run a lot of events here. So we do a monthly coffee event at Cafe Karma, which is great. First Monday of every month. Just kind of starts the month off right, sets the tone. We do a monthly happy hour here, April through November, which is just a great time.
Yeah, those are a ton of fun.
Yeah, whoever wants to come out can come out. And from there, I'll give a special shout out to David and I believe Jacob. So David and Jacob, we ran an event back here, the Sip and Spit, storytelling event.
Yes.
I thought that was a huge success.
That was huge. I'm waiting for the next one because I loved it.
Come on, David, set it up.
So yeah, I'm waiting for their next one to come on out. So
yeah, definitely. Yeah. And from that, correct me if I'm wrong. So we got Tap House Beer Runners up and running. What time frame was that? September 2022, we said?
Yeah.
Yep. Yeah. So fast forward, half a year, 6 months later, whatever, we get the idea for the Retro Run.
Yes. Yeah.
Awesome. So that is our main topic of the day. So Retro Run, second annual.
Yep. Yeah.
What is it? What do we got? What's the Retro Run?
So the Retro Run is a local 5K hosted right out of Tap House. So thank you, Tap House, again for hosting it this year. It is a 70s and 80s themed run. So come out in like your best, 70s, 80s gear attire. But it is
the hair up, do an afro.
Yeah, do the hair up, get the
the bright colors.
Yeah,
yep.
I mean, some of it's kind of coming back, so you might not even need to look. You just go to Target, pick it up. But we are hosting this 5K, and it benefits 3 local charities. So
awesome.
This year we're benefiting Humane Animal Partners. So it's like sheltered in Wilmington. Okay. They bring in animals. They also help provide subsidized veterinary care for animals, so people don't have to surrender their animals if they're struggling to pay for whatever there might be.
Yep.
We're also supporting Novak's House, which is a very local, right up the street, sober living home for men. Super great spot, and actually a decent amount of the individuals living there are part of Tap House Beer Runners. So
awesome.
Looking to give back to our own community, which is
once
really
again
cool.
Doing God's work.
Yeah.
Yep.
So they're fantastic. And then the last one is Arena Adaptive, which is also a fairly new organization, also right in Wilmington. They do adaptive fitness for individuals with physical, cognitive, neurodivergence, disabilities, like what you think of it, they help.
Awesome.
So they help adapt fitness. So the coach is a PT and into CrossFit. So they use different equipment. But they have been, definitely look them up on Instagram. Their services are super cool. And they have all different stuff. So with them, our donations cover new adaptive equipment. So whether it be something that, like, if somebody has limb loss on their arm, like they can still attach to the erg machine or something like that.
That's awesome.
Yeah. I don't know all the ins and outs of, like, they could talk about it more, but look them up on Instagram. It's Arena Adaptive. Super cool.
How'd you get connected with, like, them? The Novak House is a connection from David Myers, correct? Right? Yeah. So how'd you get connected with them, and then, like, the Humane Society with the animals?
So last year I was fostering a dog from Humane Society. So that's how we got connected into that. I worked with them. They were a huge assist when I was fostering the dog, giving, like, great training and different stuff. So I'm just, like, really passionate about the work they do. I don't foster dogs anymore, but that's how I got connected with them. And then Arena Adaptive, I came across them on Instagram, and just, like, it's Kirsten McCarthy spearheads that. I came across her on Instagram and just, like, thought that this is a really cool event. And being an OT, like, we're all about adapting the environment so that people can participate in the activities of living that are available to everybody. So, and especially with Run Club, like I want Run Club to be a accessible environment to all people. So just reaching out to them, trying to bring them into the community, making Run Club accessible to them as well. So just opening up that door. But yeah, so that's how we got connected with all three of them.
That is awesome. That is awesome.
Yeah.
Sweet. So Retro Run, when is it and how can people get involved?
Yeah, so sign up. That's a quick, easy way to get involved. It is April 20th, 9 a.m. at Tap House. So super local. You can probably walk there. And signing up is a super easy way to get involved. But also you can look at the sign up page. You can donate. You can sponsor. Through sponsorships. If you have a company, then the logo goes on the race day t-shirt.
Garmin Group sponsoring again?
Yep. So you get your logo on your t-shirt, or there's different ways. Some people have donated raffles or done smaller monetary donations, in which case that results in some other perks. So yeah, there's all different ways to get involved. But honestly, what we want is for people to come out. So we want to see your face there. So just sign up and come out to race.
What time does it start?
9 a.m.
Gotcha. So April 20th starts at 9 a.m. After party at Tap House?
Yeah, after party, full breakfast, pancakes, eggs, French toast, free beer with a race day registration bib.
Sweet.
You get a race day t-shirt. There's prizes for all age groups. There's some day of raffles, like some really cool stuff. More brothers, right? Yeah, they donated like a whole wine package. We have some like yoga classes also for raffles. All sorts
of stuff.
Yeah, ATI is going to be there doing free massages after the run. So yeah, the after party is going to be huge. So come on out.
Cool, awesome. So anything else with the Retro Run you want to shout out?
I mean, super grateful for this year. There was a Retro Run committee that consists of 6 people. Definitely couldn't have done it this year without them.
Shout out the committee.
Yeah, so that has been a huge assistance. Also, I'm sure you guys see the signs around town. They're from Nathan Field, so thanks again for that donation.
Thank you, local government.
Yes.
Appreciate you.
Yes.
Yeah.
So
we got a big banner in the backyard.
Yeah,
got a sign on the corner and a sign at my house.
Yeah,
so
you guys are killing it. So yeah, honestly, what we want is to see you guys there. So
that's awesome.
Come on out.
That's awesome. Cool. So that is the Retro Run. And then you kind of hinted at it. So we've been doing Tap House Beer Runners basically 18 months now. What does the next 18 months for Tap House Beer Runners look like?
Honestly, I don't know. In my dream world, we're just going to keep growing it. I would love to kind of find a way to now like partner with other communities or like other community organizations and find a way to give back to the Wilmington area. So
awesome.
I don't know what that looks like yet. Kind of been exploring it, but
have you guys done any swag yet?
We have done we did a shirt.
Okay. Cool.
We have some stickers. We did a hat.
Sweet.
So I have to say, like, again, it runs like a machine. Other people have taken on the responsibility of getting the swag, and they're killing it. So we're hoping to do it again this fall. Cool. This spring, summer. We got to get another thing out there because
that's awesome.
We have lots of new people since the first shirt came out.
Yeah, definitely. That's something that we just did with our Wilmington GG shirts. So we just did it, and we donated all the profits to the Irish Heritage Society, Irish Cultural Society of Wilmington,
cool.
who puts on the parade.
Yeah,
so
awesome.
it's like, hey guys, here's $300. Thank you so much for putting on this parade. I know it's a little bit, but hey, this is year 1. Hopefully we can grow that donation. So
cool. That's a great idea.
Yeah. And it's just more branding for like you guys and stuff to get the message out there. Because Tap House Beer Runners, that's a train, and if you're on the tracks, you're going to get run over by this train for sure. That is awesome. So anything else on Tap House Beer Runners? Anything else on Retro Run you want to touch on?
No, but I mean, both events are welcome to everybody. We like to see everybody out there. If you are out there, you are welcome. There's nothing we can't accommodate, and there's nothing that there's no pace that's too slow or too fast. And of any age and any ability. We want you to come on out.
Awesome. Love that. Love that. Yeah. So finishing up, we're going to turn it back towards you. And once again, like sticking with the theme, like the people that we've had, sitting in these chairs this year has been amazing. And like my cheesy line that I say to them is like, hey guys, like the bright lights are on us. Like everybody who else has like sat in your chair where you're at right now, I consider them a bright light. So, like whenever I see you, you always got, a bright smiling face. And like you're just an awesome person.
Thanks.
Yeah, getting to know you a little bit better through this and just over the last couple of years has been awesome. So the big question that we've been hitting people with is, who inspires you? Who inspires Kaylee Lynch?
I would say my dad. So
shout out Pops.
Yeah. He definitely has an entrepreneurial spirit, and I watched him like build his company from the ground up. And
what's he do?
Yeah. He is now retired, but he is a land developer. So
awesome.
Works a lot with real estate.
Sweet.
And it's been really cool to just see from what it looked like when we were kids to what it looks like now.
Mm-hmm.
But really just like that idea of like, if you want something, make it happen.
Yes.
And I think that's where I got a lot of that drive for Run Club, the Retro Run, now Golden Therapy Services. Like, he just has that like go-getter spirit. And I think that I've learned a lot of that from him.
That's awesome. That's awesome. Like literally just sticking with a little bit of real estate right there. Like It is just wild. Like the term that we use in real estate for like looking at a piece of property is like, hey, what is the highest and best use of this? Mm-hmm. Right. So like just land, like some people just don't have the vision. And when you meet someone with that vision, oh, you could do this, you could do this, you could do this. Right. Mm-hmm. It's just like, dude, how does your mind even work? Yeah. So just being exposed to that. Shout out Pops. Good for you. And then shout out Pops on retiring as well too.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know if he would consider himself retired, but I do.
Yeah. So where did your passion come from running? Did you run in high school? Did you run growing up?
I ran in high school, and I just loved the team and like kind of found like a
cross country track.
I did it all. I couldn't. Nice. Hand-eye coordination wasn't my thing, so
it's overrated. Anyway.
I found that running worked for me. So I just loved the team, and since then, like after building that, I found that running was a great way for me to like for stress release. But then I also always met like a great community of people through it. So that's kind of where it came from. It's like very recreational for me. I'm not out there winning any races or trying to PR anymore, but to me, it's like always something I can count on to make the day better or get to know somebody.
That's awesome. Yeah, that's awesome. And it is one of my goals to make it to, a little bit more, get back into running. I was never like a distance runner at all. I've always been a sprinter. Like 40 yards, I got you. 100 yards, I got you. 200, that's a little. 400, I cut it off there at the 400. I'm like, no way. Yeah. But I did run some sprints last night, so I'm very happy about that. I ran 5 hill sprints.
Nice.
Yeah, my wife says that's not a hill. I'm like, you run it then and tell me it's not a hill. So it's most definitely a hill. But I'm looking to get, a little bit more involved. I got my nice new Brooks running shoes.
Nice, I like them.
So, my back was hurting. So my chiropractor was like, dude, get rid of the Amazon $20 shoes, please. Make the investment in the nice shoes. So my back thanks me for that.
There you go.
So running is obviously something, super big in this area. Like you could look out, I see hundreds of people run by every day. So what do you like, about living in this area and running in this area?
I mean, I love living in this area and running, I guess, but more living is primarily that I can access a state park by walking out my front door.
Literally 10 steps. Yeah, you walk across the street.
Exactly.
And
I'm there, and I mean, talk about beautiful running trails. That's great. You can bike, you can run, you can do all that. So you get the benefit of kind of living in the suburbs or closer to a rural area. But then also I can walk 5 minutes and get to Trolley Square, go out to dinner, grab a beer, get a coffee.
Love that.
And Wilmington in general is kind of like a small town in a city feel.
Yep.
So that's what I love the most.
Yeah, Wilmington's a little hidden gem that I'm telling people, and we're definitely starting to get found out here a little bit.
I think so.
But yeah, definitely a little hidden gem. So, last couple questions here. So, favorite restaurant? You can shout out more.
No, favorite restaurant. Like if I'm going to like get a drink and like grab an tap house. But if I'm trying to get dinner, I love Southeast Kitchen.
Yes, love that. Southeast is fantastic. What's your order at Southeast?
I get the chicken and rice platter. Honestly, I just have it like.
It's so basic, but so good.
It's so basic, but so good. And I found out about it through a friend, and now I just order. Also, I just have her order for me because like everything she gets, I love.
Yeah, I literally crushed a chicken and rice platter last night. Favorite business you support?
I mean, there's a ton. I mean, I love you
Tap
guys.
House. Let's shout out Tap House again.
Tap House. I mean, I also love like all the things you guys do. Another local business is probably Brewha because I'm always walking to get coffee.
It's awesome.
So yeah.
That's awesome. And then last one we got for you here is favorite event besides the Retro Run.
I love from May to September when the Delaware Art Museum does the music happy hours on Thursdays.
That's awesome.
It is so underrated. I love it. It's free. You can bring your own food and drink, but also you can get it there. And there's always music. It's outside.
It's such a vibe.
Yeah, I love it. That's definitely my favorite.
Yeah, my art museum happy hour story. The first time I went, I walked my daughter up with my sister-in-law, and we were walking around, and this guy was singing acoustic, crushing Taylor Swift. Loving Him Was Red. And I walked in, I was like, yes, let's go. Yeah. And everyone's like all silent and like while he's still singing. I'm like, this guy's belting his heart out to Loving Him Was Red. I was cracking up.
That's awesome.
It was so fun. But that is a super underrated event.
Yeah, it's awesome. It's my favorite one.
Super underrated event. Well, Kaylee, this was fantastic. Thank you so much for coming in. We appreciate everything that you do for the community. You are a bright light. Keep on shining. Retro Run, April 20th, 9 a.m. Please sign up. If you guys have any questions, feel free to DM me. Don't DM Kaylee. She won't get you back on Instagram. But yeah.
You can DM Tap House Beer Runners. I'll get back to you.
Perfect. But yeah, another great episode of Life on the Ave. Thank you so much. Anything else you want to say to the people?
Thanks for having me, guys. This was awesome.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Love you all very much. Thanks, guys.